You keep learning scale after scale, thinking this is going to be the one to finally fix my solos. But when it's time to play, you freeze, stumble, or feel totally stuck. That's what I call the abyss of scales, and today we're getting you out. This is Byron from Dimecast, and this video is part one in a series designed to stop that frustrating cycle. Now here's the problem. Most players collect scales, but they can't use them. Knowing a bunch of scales won't help if you can't navigate the fretboard confidently. And that's why we're focusing today on just one scale. The beauty of this is it will work with any scale that you know. We're going to test whether you actually know this scale. Can you find every note anywhere on the neck without guessing? This is the key to breaking free. You're going to gain confidence, control, and most importantly, musical freedom. All right, grab your guitar and let's get right into it. Okay, so to start, we're going to take a C major scale, which in case you don't know, has the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C. Now we're going to take that scale and we're going to use 6 different fingerings for that scale. All right, 6 different ways to play it. So you're going to cover a lot of ground, but you're also going to see these notes over and over again on different areas of the fretboard. And that's going to help you, again, really take in this scale and see a lot of the possibilities. This isn't all of them, but this is a lot. All right, our first possibility is going to be a 3-note per string scale. We're going to start on the note C, end on the note C for all of these. So it's going to go like this. Okay, that's going to be your first C major scale, and then we're going to also play it backwards, descending. And one more thing, that scale shape is going to start with our first finger. Now we're going to start a scale shape with our second finger, our middle finger. Still starting on the note C, same place, 8th fret on the low E string. And then descending. Okay, and again, that was starting on our middle finger. Now we're going to start with our ring finger. Same note, 8th fret on the low E string, that's C. And then descending. Then starting with our pinky, we're going to start again, same note, 8th fret on the low E string. And then descending. Now we're going to go back to starting with our first finger, and now we're going to do a shape that stays in this same fret range. Right? This is yet another way to play the same scale. But what's going to happen here is between the G string and the B string, we're going to hit the same note. So we're going to have a little bit of a unison, or not a little bit, a unison here. Scale shape goes like this. And then descending. Okay, so that was shape number 5. Again, all stays in the same general area between the 8th and the 12th frets and just goes straight down. It's a really nice way to look at a scale and see it in one spot across the fretboard instead of changing a bunch of positions. This last shape is a little kooky, but still pretty cool. Now we're gonna start here, but we're actually gonna go this way down the neck. So we're gonna work our way back towards the 1st fret. So we're gonna descend down the neck, but the pitch is still gonna go up. Oops, let me do that again. And then descending back down. Now, the cool one about this is you're going to go up 3 notes and you're going to repeat, right? So every note that you end on one string with, you're going to start on the next string with. So you get to see 2 different spots where you hear the same exact note across 2 strings. So for example, on the E string, you end on E here, 12th fret, and then you're going to start on the A string, 7th fret, E, same note. On this string, you end on G. Then when you come to the next string, the D string, you're going to start over on G. And so on and so forth. And you're going to come to B, you're going to end on B on the D string. Your first note on the G is B. So again, you're seeing these notes, same note in different locations. And that's also going to help you lock in these shapes. So those are the scale shapes. So again, there were 6 different scale shapes that you're going to learn. The action steps here are to learn the notes as you go. Take each scale shape and say the notes out loud. Now in this case, the notes are all in order. So it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then it just repeats. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's gonna be your first step, is to get the notes down. Now, whether you use all 6 shapes, whether you use 2 or 3, 4, doesn't really matter. Just make sure you don't use only one. Once you get those shapes comfortable, the next thing to do is to take those notes and play them out of order. One of the things that I've noticed a lot as a private teacher is a lot of times students will get used to doing things a certain way. And then you're not sure if you just memorized that way or if you memorized that thing. So if you play, say, the first 2 shapes of the C major scale only, and you got the notes down, you want to make sure that you're not just memorizing the shape and then memorizing the order of the notes. Play the notes out of order and then say the notes. Take the time to do this. It's really important, because once we start getting into phrasing and all the different elements that make these scales into music and into solos, you're not going to have time to think about these notes. You want to have that stuff already down, and you'll also want to be able to start this scale from anywhere on the neck. Remember, that's key. If you take the time to really work this, you're going to stop feeling lost on the fretboard. Your solos will start sounding deliberate instead of random. And you're finally going to be free to express yourself when you play. Now, this is the first step towards making everything you know feel natural and musical. So take this seriously, put in the time, And when you're ready, check out the next video.